and good afternoon. It is noon, and that means it is time for our regular Friday Lunch and Learn. And so I'm really excited to share this with you because a lot of people are dealing with acne. Whether it's body acne, back acne, facial acne, whatever. We're going to be talking about this and how what you're eating could be contributing to this. And so when I was younger, I didn't have any skin issues. I was very blessed, but I remember people in my class having a lot of acne issues. And so back in the day, they would burn the skin with some kind of an acid wash. Not sure exactly what that was or how they did it. But I know that the kids would come to school, they'd go to the dermatologist, they'd come back, their face would be scalded, be bright red, kind of a purplish red, and then it would start to peel. And I wondered at the time if the cure was worse than the disease, because certainly the skin looked irritated before they went to the doctor, and then when they came back from the doctor, it looked really, really irritated. And so I've always been real tender-hearted towards people that had that going on in their life. Like I said, it's not something that I had to deal with. Even my siblings, I don't know, maybe mama fed us right, and so we didn't have that. We're going to talk today about your diet, about your choices, about some research with this, and then about what we recommend here in the clinic that does not necessitate going to the dermatologist and being burnt, acid wash, whatever it was. I mean, I don't know what it was, but it looked really, really bad on the results, what I saw with it, okay? So today what we're going to be talking about is what is in your pantry. So we know as holistic practitioners that your liver takes care of your skin. So if your skin is not right, that means you've got a liver issue. If your liver cannot keep your skin clean, that means you've got a digestive issue. And probably 99% of people that come and see me have digestive issues. And so we want to talk about that and talk about how maybe what you're eating is contributing to your skin conditions. And we all want pretty skin. I want you to have pretty skin. You'll have more confidence and all that kind of thing. And so we're just going to dive into this comprehensive review. It was published in the journal Nutrients last month. So in May of 2024, it explores the link between certain foods and acne. Now, the research suggests that there are specific foods that contribute to acne: dairy, fried foods, alcohol, gluten, eggs, corn, sweet, so anything with sugar in it, soft drinks, all play a role in the exacerbation of skin conditions. So we need to know this. Now, in the United States, nobody needs to be eating gluten. Yes, I know bread and pasta, they are comfort foods, and I like them too. However, the way we process our grains here in the United States, we process them with Roundup. The grains are sprayed twice before harvesting on industrial farms. What that does is it shrivels up the grass, pops out more kernels, so the farmer reaps more, which I'm all for the farmers reaping more. However, the grains are contaminated, and then when we eat those grains, we contaminate ourselves and we ruin our digestive system, we ruin the gut. So this is really, really important when you've got neurodiversity issues, when you've got skin issues. This is something that's really, really important. When you have things that are sweet, usually they're made out of gluten. So you've got your flour in your cakes and your cookies and your pie crust and all that kind of stuff. And so when you're eating these things, you're eating food that is poisoning you. So there is definitely a connection between your diet and your skin. So in a review that was published in Microorganisms in 2022, it examined a large body of research on the topic and explored the connection between the gut and the skin. They call it the gut-skin axis, all right? There is a complex relationship which has biodirectionality, okay? What that means is, sorry, my nose is itching. What that means is that both the skin and the gut microbiome play a role in acne. So We want to figure out what that means. All right. The review concluded that the foods aggravated the intestinal permeability and were a factor in the development in acne. And a separate review, also published in 2022, found that acne is a disease that can be related to the condition of the digestive tract and its microbiome. So in clinical practice, we know that, but here are 2 research papers that also confirm what we already know in the clinic, that people have gut issues, and it is because of what we eat. There are all kinds of food additives that we allow in the United States that are not allowed in Western Europe. So why is that? Well, a lot of it is because we've got a lot of lobbyists that petition our government to allow these things at the FDA, to be approved by the FDA. They're not approved in Europe. They're not approved in England, France, Germany. A lot of them are not approved in Spain. And so why is it okay that we have these contaminants in our food and Western Europe does not? They do not allow it. So that's something that is kind of, interesting. So what does gut permeability mean? Well, it's colloquially known as leaky gut syndrome. Now, does that mean that your gut has big holes in it and things are leaking out? Not quite like that, because if it was like that, guess what? You would die. In your large intestine, you've got a lot of villi, okay? So think about my hand being my large intestine. Inside of my small intestine, sorry. So you've got little receptor sites on these villi that's inside your small intestine. And all of these areas are able to absorb the nutrients from the food that you eat. When we eat contaminated food, those villi get shortened and you just only have these little nubs. So you don't have very much absorption with these little nubs, right? We do know through clinical research that if you quit eating gluten, that those villi will regrow and you'll be able to repair your gut. So here in the clinic, we do a 63-day process which eliminates all of the inflammatory foods, and then we work with supplements to get your GI tract back to where it needs to be. So that's part of what happens when you lose your ability to absorb your nutrients. Another thing that happens is on the inside of your small intestine, your cells are kind of like scales. They overlap and they're tight. When you get what's called leaky gut syndrome, the junctions open up. And so undigested food particles, bacteria, candida, all that kind of stuff seeps through the holes, gets into your blood supply, and your blood supply thinks that it has, or your immune system thinks that there are foreign bodies in your blood. And so it starts attacking you. And this is because there are foreign bodies in your blood. It's bacteria and candida and undigested food particles that should never go through there. So the body sets up an immune response, and when that happens, there's inflammation, and that inflammation can cause all kinds of gut issues. And so what we need to do is repair the gut so we don't have these issues. This permeability can lead to an autoimmune response, which can lead to different things such as food sensitivities, fatigue, bloating, joint pain, and other digestive issues. So the leaky gut, because the blood is dealing with all these things and the immune system is coming to its defense, which is way it is supposed to be, that is what is supposed to happen, this causes inflammation all throughout the body. Inflammation is associated with skin issues. Now remember, your skin is your largest barrier from the outside world to the inside world. Anything that gets in me has to bypass my skin. So if I have a cut, it doesn't scab over, we know that it can get infected. Also, I breathe in stuff, I taste stuff, I can get an infection in my eye because these are all openings in the skin, and we're glad we have those. But when that happens, then we're going to have some issues. So the inflammation in the body leads to skin issues, acne, eczema, psoriasis. According to one of the studies in an article, naturopathic Dr. Joseph Pizzarano, I think that's how you pronounce his name, says that the influx of bacteria and toxins into the bloodstream can interfere with the body's detoxification processes, which also contribute to skin issue. Now, we know that this is true because it is your liver that is your largest filter in your body, and that is where all of the toxicity goes into the liver to be processed. So you've got your lymphatic system, you've got your lungs, you've got your kidney and your bladder, and then you've got your large intestine. Those are the 4 ways that toxins get out of the body. All of your blood goes right through the liver. Liver cleans it, liver filters it, and if the liver is congested, which most people do have that, especially after the age of 50, then we know that that is an issue. And so when that is congested, you're more likely to have skin issues. So what causes acne? Acne is a condition where the hair follicles become clogged with oil and dead skin cells. The buildup can result in the formulation of pimples, blackheads, or whiteheads. Now, there's a specific type of acne called acne vulgaris. It typically appears on the face, the neck, the chest, and the back. And it's caused by a variety of factors, including hormonal changes, genetics, age, certain medications, and diet. And diet is most often overlooked. And I remember, again, being a student, being a child, and seeing people with acne, and they would claim that it was due to their hormones, puberty, all that kind of thing. And I thought that was really weird because I was going through puberty at the same time and I was not having the same kind of reaction. And I know that we're all different and all that kind of thing, but I don't think all acne is related to hormones. Treatment includes topical creams and oral medications. However, we're finding out that a more holistic approach can have even better results. So there is a connection between diet and skin health, and this is an emerging field of research, and more studies are needed before we can have strong conclusions because this is emerging. However, in a recent review in Nutrients, it analyzed existing publications and identified several evidence-based key foods that contribute to acne. Now, I don't even want to tell you this because chocolate is one of my favorite foods, but chocolate is found to be an instigator of acne. So if you have acne, you want to stay away from chocolate. The review noted that in a study of 25 acne-prone men, 99% dark chocolate worsened the symptoms of acne. Given the small size sample, of course, we need more research, but this is a conclusion with dark chocolate. And actually, if you're going to eat chocolate at all, dark chocolate is the best kind of chocolate to eat. So this said that they tested 25 acne-prone men. Maybe we women are excluded from that, but they weren't in this study. So just kind of pay attention to what you're eating if you do have those acne issues. Ruling out the sugar and the dairy additives found in most chocolate can be potential triggers. So we do know that in the milk chocolate or in the white chocolate, there's much, much more sugar, and there's, of course, the dairy in there as well. So there is a Dr. Hannah Kopelman. She's a dermatologist based in New York. She says that it is the sugar and dairy in most chocolate products that can exacerbate acne. Now, I would agree with that, so I don't know why the dark chocolate, 99% dark chocolate, would have that effect on the men, because 99% dark chocolate is pretty bitter, no sugar in there, and I don't think there's any dairy in there as well. So anyway, open to more research. Sweet foods, particularly those with a high glycemic index, such as soft drinks, can increase insulin levels. Elevated insulin levels can stimulate the production of oils in the skin and trigger the development of acne. A study published in the BMC Dermatology in 2012 concluded that a diet with a high glycemic load contributed to acne. So this would pertain particularly to people who are diabetics or pre-diabetics. They've got issues with their sugar anyway. If you're obese, you've got insulin resistance. If you have insulin resistance, and you're not going to be able to process those kind of foods. So it's not just your skin that's giving you problem. You may have some pancreatic issues, and those are some things that we need to really look at, because having insulin resistance is not a great thing to have. So according to Dr. Koppelman, excessive sugar and ultra-processed food can lead to chronic inflammation, glycation, where sugar molecules are that are attached to proteins like collagen make the skin less elastic. It causes hormone imbalances, resulting in increased oil production and acne. A further review in 2023 in biomedicine and pharmacotherapy determined a link between acne and metabolic syndrome, a group of disorders which includes insulin resistance and obesity. So we're seeing in study after study after study, it all goes back to diet. Insulin resistance is where you have consumed too much sugar, too much high glycemic vegetables. So that would be your potatoes, your cooked carrots, of course, your bread and your pasta, which I know are not vegetables, but that's part of what the standard American diet is. I mean, I'm going to volunteer to tell you that my ultimate comfort food is mac and cheese. Now, I don't get the little blue box and just make it that way. I mean, I make it the organic way, and I love it, and it's something that's really good. But you know what? It's high glycemic food. And so if I had a sugar issue, if I had a pancreatic issue, if I had a skin issue, then that would be something that would not be healthy for me to have. So additionally, besides those foods, you've got milk and dairy products also interfere with the skin and contribute to acne. So dairy products like milk and cheese, particularly those in high fat and processed, have been linked to skin issues such as acne because of the hormones they contain. So why is that? Because here in the United States, we want our animals that produce dairy. Of course, that's our chickens with the eggs. It's our cows with the meat. It's the sheep. It's the goats, whatever kind of milk that we get. We want them to mature very quickly, and we want them to produce a lot quicker than maybe they would when they're out just doing things organically. So we give the animals, we give them antibiotics to protect them against sickness and disease. We also get them hormones so that they can mature more quickly. Well, all of those antibiotics and hormones go down into the food that is produced from those animals. So the meat that we eat, the poultry that we eat, the eggs that we eat, the milk, the cheese, cottage cheese, sour cream, yogurt, ice cream, all the things are full of antibiotics and full of hormones. And so when we're doing that, we're eating that, we're consuming that, then we are loading up our system with antibiotics and different hormones, which causes us to have a lot of health issues. So not trying to point fingers here, okay? But you can look at a man, if he's got a beer belly, all right, it may not be that he's drinking beer. It may be that his liver is just congested because of all the things that he's eating, and it's causing all kinds of issues. We're seeing a lot of children that are going through what they call pernicious puberty. That means they're starting to develop their sexual characteristics, hair under the arm and the, groin and all that. They're starting to do that a lot earlier, and we're finding out it's because they're drinking milk that has all of those hormones in there. And so one of the things we ask them to do is to change over to organic dairy products because they don't have the hormones and they don't have the antibiotics in them. So the dairy that we are consuming can interact with the body's own hormones, potentially increasing oil production and clogging pores. Even lower fat options as 1% or 2% milk can contribute to acne. Now, that's not necessarily because it is the milk product. It's because what is in the milk product. So if you change to organic, you're going to not have those additional hormones. If you are a man over a certain age, then you are more prone to prostate issues. And in another report, they found that the men who drink milk on a regular basis have a higher incidence of prostate issue because of the hormone. So we don't want to do that. I don't let my husband I know it sounds like I'm really pushy and all that kind of stuff, but when we're at the grocery store and he picks milk because he loves milk, and he'll pick, just regular milk. And I'll say, no, put that back. I want you to have organic milk because of all these reasons. He says, yeah, but it's much more expensive. I said, yeah, but prostate cancer is expensive too. And I'd really rather you avoid that. And one of the ways that you avoid that is by avoiding additional hormones in the dairy products that you have. Now, consuming alcohol can increase testosterone levels and weaken the immune system, which can lead to inflammation, bacterial growth, and also acne. So we do know that there are women that have been diagnosed with PCOS, okay, and that stands for polycystic ovary syndrome. I guess that's what the S is for. And they have a higher level of testosterone. They do tend to have acne. They do tend to have insulin resistance. So it could be that the dairy that we're consuming is contributing to all those kind of things. Daily consumption of corn, a common allergen, can also contribute to acne. Now, why is that? And I love corn. Corn's one of my favorite vegetables. However, here in the United States, the corn is always genetically modified. I won't say always, probably 95 to 99% genetically modified. I don't want to get into all the politics of that because I don't have enough time on this program. I've already been told that 30 minutes is too long for a program, so sorry about that. I'm trying to give you all this information. We don't want to eat a lot of corn because, again, it's been genetically modified. And when we do, it affects the gut. When the gut is affected, then acne is probably something that we look forward to. The study published in Nutrients showed that those with acne also tended to consume more salt and salty snacks. All right. Gluten-free diets are often recommended for people with skin issues such as psoriasis, atopic dermatitis, vitiligo, okay, have all been shown to improve with the elimination of gluten. Now, vitiligo is more of an autoimmune issue, which just goes to prove what we said in the earlier report, that when you have a lot of gluten in the system, a lot of inflammation in the system, leaky gut symptoms, that tends toward autoimmune disorders. Then lastly, there is evidence that eggs may exacerbate acne in some individuals. In a 2022 study, they found a link between egg allergies and acne, indicating that eggs could be a trigger. Now, I think it would more likely be the hormones and the antibiotics in the eggs and the eggs itself. I personally believe that egg is the perfect protein. I personally believe that. But my eggs that I get are free-range eggs. The chickens have not had any antibiotics. They've not had any hormones. So I'm not dealing with those when I eat my eggs. So we can look at your skin. We can look at your diet. We can look at your pantry. And we can see if you're loaded up with sugar, if you're loaded up with high glycemic foods, if you're loaded up with packaged foods, that could be what's going on. Now, what do we do here at the clinic? Well, one of the things that we do is we do the LumiSpa. So we've got the LumiSpa. It comes with a cleanser. This is not the cleanser that I use, but it's one similar. You put the cleanser on the head of the LumiSpa. You turn the LumiSpa on and you can see that it's got two rotating heads. They oscillate in different directions and they get right into the skin, they get right into the pore, and they pull out whatever contamination is in there. So if you have acne and you want to try the LumiSpa, when you buy it, you don't want to buy the normal head. You want to buy the gentle head because you've already got skin issues and we don't want to exacerbate that. Now, if you're looking at this silicone head and you're comparing it to another brand, I'm just going to tell you that there's a video on my website that shows a bristle brush on an egg and it shreds the egg, okay? We take, not that same egg, obviously, because it's already contaminated and done away with, but we take another fresh egg and we do the Lumispa on it, and we press really hard, and it does not break the yolk of the egg. So this is extremely, extremely gentle on your skin. It doesn't tear your skin. But this is one thing that we can do to get all of the contaminants off of the top of your skin, to remove that so that your skin can breathe and your skin can kind of do what it needs to do. Another thing that we recommend is called the Epic Glacial Mud Pack. Now, this is really good. Glacial mud, that means it comes from the glaciers and it's really clean and that kind of thing. You put it on and it dries to a real pretty green color. When you wash it off, it has pulled all the blackheads and all that kind of stuff out of your skin. And so this is really good. An added benefit, if you are an individual with a lot of tattoos, right? If you put the mud pack on your tattoos, it will visibly brighten them. I don't know how it does that, but I've just seen the evidence. And so this is something that we do recommend for acne, but it's got a dual purpose as well. The other thing that we have that we recommend is the Epic polishing bar. Now, this is a very unique kind of, I don't want to call it a soap, but it is kind of a soap. But those people that get acne, this is really good. But like, you might not have acne, but you might be one of those people that get that keratosis on your arms. This is something that's really good to get rid of that. I've got young children that have those on their arm, and they just rub it on their arm, and it takes away all those bumps. So this is something that's really, really good that we use for acne, other kind of skin issues as well. I will tell you, it goes further than just your skin, because it will brighten up your tennis shoes. So if you have kids that are in sports, or in baseball, they're in football, they're wearing the white sports shoes, they get nasty, they've got the stains on it. This is amazing. It's also amazing for getting grass stains out of the baseball pants and all that kind of stuff. So it's got a lot of different uses. And this is something that we have here at the clinic as well. If you need any kind of links for any of these products, let me know. I will tell you, until the end of the month, this, you buy two, get one free. So if you've got a lot of kids in your family, you want to take advantage of that. There's just a lot of specials going on, and not all of them have to do with acne, but this particular one does. The other thing that you want to look at is your diet. Do you have enough antioxidants in your diet? What is an antioxidant? An antioxidant is a nutrient that you get from eating brightly colored fruits and vegetables. So your oranges, your orange colored foods, your red foods, your green foods, your yellow foods, blue foods. Okay, those are the foods that have the highest amount of antioxidants in it. Your body digests those, then it absorbs those, and through enzyme action, it changes those antioxidants into products that you can use, so that it helps you with your anti-aging and it helps you with your immune defense. So this is something that we also offer here in the clinic, this Pharmanex scanner. It takes about 30 seconds. It's not invasive at all. You just put your hand right on this laser, this blue laser, and it reads the bioflavonoids that are in your skin. The bioflavonoids are what your body uses to convert into antioxidants, which stop the free radicals, which is what causes us to age and get sick. And so there's a lot of strategies that we do. Clean up the gut and then work on the skin in a very, very gentle way to help the body repair and do all those kind of things. So I know that's a lot of information. And if you have any questions, just put them in the box and I will answer them. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for all the things. Thank you for your time. And it is Friday, and I'm always ready for self-care on Fridays. It is the weekend. We want to relax. We want to rejuvenate. We want to restore. We want to repair, right? So go and make it a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves, and I will talk to you next week.